In a world that rewards the loudest voice, being a good listener might feel like a forgotten art. What if I told you that listening, real deep, intentional listening, is more powerful than speaking? In today's video, I'll be talking about why listening is more important than talking, and how it can completely transform your relationships, career, confidence, and even your peace of mind. So if you love this topic, please give this video a like and let's get straight into it. The first thing I'd like to share is the misconception about communication. Let's start with the truth that most people ignore. Talking is only half of communication. Listening is the other half, and often the more important one. But because we are taught to perform, persuade, impress, and even compete, we often forget to truly pay attention to others. For example, in school, we are graded for speaking up, not for listening well. At work, those who talk more are often seen as the most confident ones, but not necessarily more effective. In relationships, we assume we are listening just because we are silent, but we are really just waiting to reply. There is a quote by Stephen Covey which says, "Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply." The second thing I would like to share with you is what real listening looks like. There's a big difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is passive while listening is active. Real listening involves being fully present, not checking your phone or even planning your next sentence. It also involves reading non-verbal cues, tone, body, language, facial expressions. It involves asking clarifying questions like, "What did you mean by that?" And it also involves reflecting back what you heard. Like, "So what you're saying is..." So when you do this, people feel seen, valued, and understood, and that builds trust. A friend once told me about something really painful in her life. All I did was to listen to her. I didn't say anything much. I just listened, nodded, and said, "That must have been really hard." She later said it was one of the most healing conversations she has ever had, and I barely said a word. That is the power of listening. The third thing I'd like to share with you is why listening builds better relationships. Listening is how relationships thrive. Friendships, partnerships, even family dynamics. Here is what listening does in relationships. It builds emotional safety. People open up when they don't feel judged. Listening reduces conflict. Most arguments happen because we are busy defending ourselves instead of understanding each other. Another thing listening does is that it strengthens empathy. The more we hear others, the more we relate with them. For example, in romantic relationships, people often argue over small things, but the root cause is usually this: "I don't feel heard." When both partners feel listened to, tension drops and solutions come faster. The fourth thing I'd like you to know is that listening is a superpower both in leadership and at work. So if you're in any kind of leadership role, both formal and informal, listening is your greatest strength. Why? Because leaders who listen make better decisions. They understand all sides. So with that, they are able to make better decisions. Another reason is that good listeners build loyal teams. People follow those who make them feel heard. Listening fosters innovation. The best ideas comes from others, not you. So if you are able to listen, then you will get it. But if you are not, then you lose out. Customer service, management, coaching, all depend on deep listening. I once had a manager who barely spoke in meetings. He would listen quietly, he would take notes, and then ask one thoughtful question. That question will reframe the entire conversation. He didn't need to speak the most to lead the room. The fifth thing I'd like to share with you is the internal power of listening. And here is something we don't talk about enough. Listening also transforms you. Listening improves your self-awareness. When you listen well, you pause your ego and you learn. Listening improves your patience. Silence becomes your friend, not something to fear. Listening also improves your critical thinking. You consider different perspectives before reacting. Listening improves your emotional intelligence. You become more in tune with others' emotions and your own as well. I started practicing mindful listening, not just with others, but even with myself. I would ask, what am I even feeling? Or what is this moment trying to tell me? It made me more grounded, less reactive, and more in control. But the last and the most important part I'll be sharing with you now is how to become a better listener. The first step is to pause before replying. Give a 2-second gap before you respond. The second step is to mirror back. Repeat part of what the other person said. The third step is to drop the need to fix, because sometimes people just want to be heard. Fourth step is to maintain eye contact and open body language. And the last part is to ask more and assume less. By saying, can you tell me more about that? Don't assume anything. Instead, ask questions. If you're not sure of anything, ask questions. Don't assume people know what they don't know. If you don't ask, you will not know what the answer is. You don't need to be the loudest in the room to be respected. You need to be the most present. So here is your challenge for this week. The next time you're in a conversation, be the listener, not the fixer, not the performer or the explainer. Just listen and watch how it changes the energy. Watch how people open up. Watch how you feel more peaceful, because you are no longer trying to dominate, just to connect. If this video has helped you to reflect on how you show up in conversations, drop a comment in the comment section below. Are you more of a listener or more of a talker? What's one thing you start doing differently today? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to people, especially to those that talk way too much. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more understanding. And that starts with you. On my end screen here, you'll find a video here that promises you great insight. Please do well to watch it. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I do appreciate you. And if you're new, please subscribe once again, as I promise you awesome content every other day. And until I see you in my next video, have an amazing day ahead, and bye for now.